Let's call the next participant, Vrinda. Please come on up, Vrindashwar. Hey, Vrinda.
Hi.
Nervous?
No.
You ever nervous?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you chose to speak on chapter 13, chapter 14. Let's talk about chapter 13 first. What are your thoughts on this understanding, interpretation?
Okay, so chapter 13 is called Kshetra, Kshetragya Vibhag Yoga, or the yoga of discrimination between Kshetra and Kshetragya. Now you may be wondering what these two words mean. Kshetra is Prakriti, also known as the body. Kshetragya is Purusha or the field. Lord Krishna talks about what needs to be known to know who is immortal. Now you may be wondering, immortality what? Like humans could get immortality? But it's not exactly the kind of immortality that you're thinking about. Allow me to explain what Lord Krishna really means. He talks about Kshetra, which consists of the great elements, egoism, intellect, and as also the 10 senses and the one mind, the 5 objects of the senses, which include desire, hatred, pleasure, pain, the aggregate, intelligence, and firmness. He also continues to talk about where God exists. God exists with hands and feet everywhere, eyes and heads and mouth everywhere, and ears everywhere. God exists enveloping all. In my favorite verse, the Lord explains that God is the light of all lights and is way beyond darkness, knowledge, and noble, the goal of knowledge, seated in the hearts of all. Finally, Lord Krishna concludes by saying that Kshetra, or knowledge, that was needed to be known, has been described, O Arjuna. Whoever knows this is fitted for my state. So does listening to me tell you what is needed for immortality make you immortal? The short answer is yes and no. Although you heard what I was saying, you may not practice and understand these things in your daily lives. For example, you heard about being beyond knowledge, darkness, the noble, etc. But how many of us are really able to practice this? How many of us are truly able to understand where God resides and know what Brahman is? Even if we do not understand, even if we do understand what he's saying, we're not able to practice what he's saying. We don't have eyes and mouths everywhere. We don't exist enveloping all. However, if we do understand but not practice what Lord Krishna is saying, then that does not make us immortal, but your mental capacity and state becomes immortal. What do I mean by this? You have knowledge and teachings from Lord Krishna, and you know more than others by listening to me tell you about this. Now, you can go about your everyday life, thus making your choices immortal. For example, you go to work and you know that God is in everyone's heart, so you will not show disrespect. You will simply respect the God inside them. I will also do the same thing. Everyone I see at school, Monday, or home, I will respect them, but more importantly, I will see the God in them. In conclusion, the one who understands what Lord Krishna is talking about is immortal or God, but for people like us who can't really be immortal or God, and here, there, everywhere, can use this knowledge to make our state and mental capacity more immortal than it already is.
So Hinduism always talk about immortality, like Mahamrityunjaya mantra, Mrityor Moksha Mamritam. Let me defeat death and let me become immortal. I think there's a strong confusion in the community because people question the genuineness of these mantras even. Now Krishna is talking about immortality. What is immortality in a human sense?
So obviously for humans, like when you're born, you die. I mean, really? I hate to break it to you. But basically what we really want to do in life, we want to become, I don't want to say greater than others, but we want to make ourselves more immortal by listening to what God has said in the Bhagavad Gita and the Ramayana, and using this in our everyday lives. If we do this at work or at school, it will make you more knowledgeable, and your mental state will become like immortal.
Absolutely, thinking beyond, definitely. Let's go to chapter 14, which in my view is a difficult chapter. But what do you think chapter 14 tells in a common sense analogy?
Okay, so chapter 14 is called Gunatraya Vibhag Yoga. In English, this means the yoga of the division of the 3 gunas. The 3 gunas are called Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. They are born of Prakriti, which we previously learned is the body. Out of all the three gunas, sattva is stainless, luminous, and unobstructed. It binds by creating attachment to happiness and attachment to knowledge. Those who contain rajas in them are known to have passionate nature, and this leads to thirst and attachment. Finally, those who have tamas in them are known to be born of ignorance. It binds by carelessness, indolence, and sleep. In this verse, Lord Krishna gives a recap of the three gunas. Sattva binds one to happiness, rajas to actions, while tamas blocks knowledge and binds one to heedlessness. Out of these three gunas, which one do we want to become or have inside of us? The correct answer would be the sattva. Those who carry sattvic qualities are generally happy and knowledgeable. They make the right decisions and think about the long term rather than the short term. An example of this would have to do with work. You wake up, or do you? If you sleep in, it may seem like happiness, but it's only temporary because you will be late for work, resulting in a bad day. This is not sattvic. Instead, you will wake up on time, take the train on time, get to work on time, leave on time, and in the long run, it results in the extra promotion and pay you've been waiting for. This is how the mind of a sattvic person works.